Hello and welcome to episode 5, The Sim Wizard. No, I'm not referring to what you'll be after you become proficient in SimWriter. I'm referring to the SimWriter feature that allows you to quickly produce all of the basic elements of a simulation, which include characters, a scoring scheme, a situation, objectives, and a setting. So the SimWriter is one of two ways you can begin developing a simulation. Under File, select New. Your options are from scratch and using Wizard. And I'm sure you've guessed that we're going to choose using Wizard. Now, the SimWizard doesn't create a fully functioning simulation. It creates what I like to call the skeletal system of a simulation, the core components. And once those are created by the wizard, you'll progress by filling in the individual stages with information to flesh your simulation out. Okay, enough with the anatomical analogies. First things first, the top tab, Name, you want to name your simulation something that accurately represents what you're producing. And since this is a tutorial, I'm just going to name it Sim Tutorial 01. Okay. Keep in mind that this name will also serve as the file name of the simulation. And next in the author field, simply enter the name or initials or whatever of the person, of you, or whoever who's authoring the simulation. Now in the field under Where would you like to save your simulation, enter where you want the simulation file saved. You can either enter it directly or you can just browse to a desired folder by clicking the Browse button. When all of the naming information has been entered, I click the Next button here and I move to the next tab, the Situation tab. And the first field asks us to enter what is going to happen in this simulation. You want to simply describe what is going to happen. Basically, what will the student learn? What is the conflict? What is the goal? This is really for personal reference and a bit of an exercise. So, don't sweat it too much, but keep in mind that if you can't fairly readily fill it out, you might want to take some time to think through what it is you want to accomplish with the simulation. I'm going to enter that my simulation will teach students how to, we'll just do something simple. So how about how to properly introduce yourself? Okay. So then under what are the key learning points for the simulation, you'll want to enter, you guessed it, the key learning points. Hey, it's a wizard. It's supposed to be easy. The learning points we enter will be added to the simulation, which the wizard creates, and which we can then link our choices to, so the student will receive scores based upon the learning objectives. Okay, our objectives for how to properly introduce yourself will be, let's see, one, we'll use an appropriate greeting. Okay, and for another one, identify yourself by name and title. Okay, we'll click Next, which advances us to the next tab, Environment. Under What environment would you like to use for this simulation, you'll see the numerous environments that come prepackaged with SimWriter. So take some time and look through these and find one that fits your scenario. For today's example, I'm going to pick the reception area here. I like this one. And then we go to our next tab, which is Characters. First things first, you'll want to select the number of characters here that you'll involve in your simulation. You can choose 1, 2, or 3. For this example, I'm going to choose 1. We're only going to introduce ourselves just to one person. The area below this prompts us to select a character. And just like Environment, SimWriter comes pre-populated with a number of characters from which you can choose. Male and female, all containing all of the emotional states necessary for your simulation. And for this example, I am going to select Phil here. And the last two fields asks for the character's name and title. We'll call our character Bob Jones, and his title will be that of Official Company Greeter. That's a nice position. Okay. Now, if down here at the bottom, if we had selected more than one character, these arrows down here would allow us to cycle through our characters. But as it is, I only have one character, so no cycling is needed. All right, next tab, the fifth tab, is theme. Once again, you have the ability to choose a theme from this set of prepackaged themes that come with SimWriter. And a theme is basically, it's a set of design elements that make up the interface for the simulation. So speak boxes, menu choice boxes, feedback bars, all of that. I'm going to choose this one and hit next to our final tab, which is map. Okay, there are three choices, as you can see here, to make on the map tab. First, what type of simulation will this be? You have the option of choosing mentor, which is basically a question and answer session, a quiz or expert simulation, or a conversation simulation. The type of simulation you choose really determines the map structure, and you can see a small preview of that structure to the right here. And you can always change the map once you've created it. Remember that. But try to start with something as close to your final structure as possible. I'm going to choose conversation because I think that comes closest to the style of simulation I want to end up with. So next down, how long would you like the simulation to last? Asks you to generalize the amount of time you want your student's experience to be. This is really just a guideline, a starting point. The SimWriter developers found that generally, if you want, say, a 5-minute simulation, it's going to relate to around this many decision points. If you want a 10-minute simulation, it's going to relate to this many. Once again, only a guideline, but helpful nonetheless. And last, what scoring system would you like to use? Simply select the scoring system you wish to use from the drop down here. And mentor sims are set to no score. Expert sims are scored on a correct-incorrect scale. And conversation sims, like the one we've chosen, are scored either A, B, C, D, F scale or good, mediocre, bad. But you can also set it as no score or correct, incorrect. I'm going to select A, B, C, D, F. Okay, we filled everything in. I simply click Create Simulation, and after a bit of working, voila, we have the beginning of a simulation. In a few minutes, we've managed to create a very good start of a sim and eliminate many of the routine and redundant tasks that normally go into setting up a sim. Of course, we still need to add all of the dialogue and add any custom media and things like that, but yeah, well, that's all the fun stuff, right? So anyway, well, thanks for joining me, and I hope that the SimWriter Wizard, the Sim Wizard, provides you with hours of entertainment.